Today is June. Let me look. June 12th. It is, yes. And today I just wanted to come on and just pull some cards for the zodiac for the week. I wanted to do it live, but I'm going to live stream it anyway. So it'll be fine. You'll get your info. That's all that matters. I also wanted to say thank you to everybody who voted for me for the Cover Awards. I won gold for my interview series, which is really awesome. And it's really one of those things I didn't know I was like decent at until I knew I was decent at it until I started doing it. I guess it helps too that I really like to talk a lot and I love meeting new people. So it just kind of all fell into place. And it's one of those things that I love doing it, and it's always great, and it's fun to talk to everybody and learn about them and hear their stories. And there's more to it though, and I think, it's the scheduling, getting a hold of people, getting everybody organized, making sure everybody knows what they need to be doing and how it all works. So to be recognized for all of that is really an awesome thing, and I appreciate all of you for voting for me. um, with that. And speaking of, I have a couple of interviews coming up this week. Wednesday, we're kind of doing a double header, inner traditions, authors all over the place. So we have Jen Frey. I'm going to be talking with her. Her book is Communicating with Plants. And then we have Sala Crow, and her book is all about spirit. So, and just working with spirit and that sort of thing. I'm reading both of their books at the same time. So it's, I'm trying to keep everything separate in my brain. What else is going on? So next week, actually, next Tuesday, I am going to be speaking at Llewellyn Con. This is a free event. It's Llewellyn's big online extravaganza. A whole bunch of authors going to be speaking, and I'm going to be talking about manifesting with the moon because that so happens to be what my book is about, which is now deep in edits and hopefully will make an appearance. I'm going to think next year, hopefully at some point. So that is another thing I have going on. I'm just trying to get caught up. Had a little hospital stint. My insides weren't agreeing with the outsides, and it just was it was not a fun time. So trying to navigate through that, get all caught back up. I'm okay though. I will be okay. Got some follow-up stuff to do there. Next week, my son graduates high school. My youngest son, my last one, number 4, graduates high school, which is kind of giving me all the feels. He just had his last full day of school, and it's really kind of weird. Like, if you think about it, like all those years I've been dealing with school and field trips and just the school schedule, and now that's going to be done. It's so weird. It's so weird. So I have so many things. Like, there's just a lot happening. It's all good stuff. Well, besides the hospital thing, but it's all good stuff. But lots of feels happening in these last couple weeks. So yeah. So, and also make sure to check out the interview series I'm doing over at Witch City Tarot Gathering. We have about a month to go for that. I can't believe it. I'm so excited to see everyone and be in person. My friend Chris Gerke, she is the founder of the Witch City Tarot Gathering, and I help her out. I'm a part of the planning coven, kind of do all the, it's just us running around in the background trying to get everything situated. And it's coming together beautifully, and I'm so excited to meet everyone. And my friend Estrella Taylor is the headliner, so I'm excited to hang out with her as well. And I'm going to be interviewing her too, kind of towards the end, like right before the Witch City. So that is the end of July, around the 28th, that weekend. So make sure that if you're going to go, make sure you have your tickets on, all that good stuff. What else do I have? I'm trying to look at my calendar because I don't even know what's going on. Yeah. I think that's it for now. I think that's it for now. Stardust Wanderer is in final steps of being sent off to the printer, editing the book right now. Carol's finishing up, revising some of the last cards, and then that's going to get sent off. So if you did back that, you'll keep you posted, all the good news along the way. And I did open up pre-orders. So I'm going to keep that open for a couple more weeks. I'm going to close it probably the week before we go to the printers. So if you missed the Kickstarter and you'd still like to get the deck or the tarot cloth or the tarot bag, any of that stuff, you can go to the Kickstarter page and it'll bring you to the pre-order store. So if you want to take advantage of that, that is also still at the Kickstarter price. So once this goes over onto my Etsy and wherever else I decide to sell it, the price is going to go up a little bit. So I left it so that you could still take advantage of the Kickstarter price. So if you have any questions about that, be sure to send me an email, jen@stardustwanderertarot.com. So without further ado, let's do some readings for the week. And I'm using the Pride Tarot because Pride Month, happy Pride. And it just seems like the thing to do. And this is by US Games. Just the cover. Like my box, my box is very well loved. This is my deck. This is a very well loved deck. So it's quite broken in. But let's do this. We'll just start at the top here with Aries. All right, Aries, we have the Judgment card. So Aries, I think as you kind of navigate through the week, really make sure you are making choices based on what you need, not what everyone else needs. And that might be some big decisions. You might have some big decisions this week that you have to make. So be sure to really take your time and really feel it out and really rely on your intuition for this. All right, so Taurus. All right, Taurus, we have the Six of Swords. Taurus, there's some stuff you need to leave behind this week. It's time to just put it down and move forward. Sometimes we really want to make stuff work. We really want to make situations work, relationships work, all of those things. And I think it's more of like a smaller thing. So maybe you've been trying to just really kind of force a situation, not in a bad way, but because you want to make it work, but it just isn't flowing the way you want. I think it's time to just kind of put it down for now and work on something else. Because if it's really meant to be, it will come back around when it's supposed to. I don't think it's the time right now. All right, so Gemini. Gemini, we have Temperance. So Gemini, you have a lot going on. When doesn't a Gemini have a lot going on? I have two of them in my house, so that makes complete sense. So I think it's really important, Geminis, for you to make sure you are balancing your work life, your home life, your mind, body, and your mind, your physical self, your spiritual self, your everyday self. Whatever that looks like to you, whichever one kind of pokes you a little more than the other, that's what you need to work on, because you are a little unbalanced right now, and that's just going to cause a little bit more chaos in your life. That's totally unneeded. So take a minute and breathe, Gemini, and then decide how you need to even stuff out. And that might even mean delegating some things to other people, believe it or not. I know you can do it all, Gemini, but doesn't mean you have to. So for our Cancers, we have Seven of Swords. So Cancers, somebody is really they are not being cool. Their vibe is off. They seem like they are trying to be helpful, or they are trying to be maybe a friend, but there's kind of ulterior motives here. So if you're around someone or in a situation and something's feeling off, I feel like this is your sign to pay attention to your intuition, because something is off. And make sure, and even though somebody, or you may express this to someone and they're like, no, they're fine, believe yourself, believe in yourself, believe in your intuition, that gut feeling, and go with it. Can't tell you how many times, I tend to kind of like a human lie detector. I can tell when someone's lying right away. right away. And that could be a very frustrating thing because you can't always be like, hey, you're lying, right? You kind of have to like go along with it. And that could even go for like when you're around people and you know this person's shitty, you know they are, you can feel it. But everyone's like, no, they're great. No, they're wonderful. Let's get along. Sometimes you just have to kind of take that in stride, be graceful about it, but at least you know, right? At least you're trusting your intuition, and then that can help you create whatever action steps come next regarding this person or situation. So I had a lot for that one, Cancer. There was a lot happening in my brain for that one. All right, so Leos, let's see, Leos, what do we got for you? Woo, we have the Hangman. So, Leo, I really think for you, it's time to take a step back because you're just way up in everybody's face right now. You're being a little too much. And we love that you're a lot. We love that about you. But this is also kind of like, hold up. I think the ego is getting a little too rowdy. And it's funny because with this card, right away, the first thing I noticed was that apple, like that temptation, right? Because a lot of times in art, in text, that apple is that Adam and Eve apple, that temptation and all of that. And I feel like it's just so tempting. Like, look, you actually like you could see the snake. So this is kind of is, I guess, what's going on here. The temptation, just because it's again, not because you just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I feel that your ego is getting a little too loud, which our ego is good. It's there to protect us. But sometimes if we let it in the driver's seat, we can hurt people. And I think, Leo, I think that's where it's headed for you. And I think that it's kind of like check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what I got, Leo. All right. So Virgos. Oh, Virgos. All right, Virgo. We have the 10 of Wands. So I think for you, this is kind of like your sign, like everything's going okay. You might feel like things are not totally happening, but they are. Things are happening. Whatever it is you're working on will come to fruition, will be successful. And I just feel like that you needed that reminder to keep going. You're almost there and everything's going to work out. All of your action steps are aligned and you are right where you need to be. All right, Virgo. So that brings us next to our Libras. All right, Libras. The Four of Swords. So you might have been feeling some sort of way lately, just kind of like, meh, whatever. I got stuff going on, but I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm just kind of going to hang out here. You know what? Self-care, taking a moment, taking a breather, always a great thing. But we don't get stuck here. We do not get stuck here. You need to look around. You need to see what's going on around you. You need to see what you need to be involved in, what you don't need to be involved in. But don't stay in that nonchalant space for too long because you're going to miss something good. Next, we have Scorpio. So for our Scorpios, we have the Empress. So I think for you, it's all about nurturing yourself, nurturing those around you, and, nurturing yourself. That's important too. We don't want to leave that out. And I think, sometimes it's kind of hard for us to step out of ourselves to help others. But I think there's a reason why you need to, and there's a good lesson in it. So get your nurturing on, Scorpio. Next, we have Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, we got that Judgment card again. I think this one, though, is not like what we had got for Aries. I think for you, Sag, this is more about judging your situation, but not in a harsh way, not in a like demeaning way, more in a way of like, okay, so this is what's going on right now. Is this what I want? Is this how I want it to happen? Because I feel like there is changes to be had. And until you sit back and really look at it, the whole picture, you're not going to see that and you're going to miss miss the opportunity to make some really good changes for yourself. And that brings us to Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, we have the Seven of Pentacles. I love that card actually. It's got all the chakras. So for you, where are we? Capricorn. Yes, I really feel like taking that time to kind of balance yourself is really important. Like this card just screams balance to me right now, and that you may need to physically do something to help balance yourself. It isn't like what we got for Gemini for the temperance, like, that duality and balancing that. This is more of a physical balancing. Like you need to either work on your nutrition, go outside a little bit more in nature, practice some mindfulness. But you have been really up in your head a lot, and it's time to bring that down, like bring your whole self down to earth. So that's what I'm getting for you, Capricorn. And you do have time to do it. I know you're busy. You're the CEO of the zodiac and all that, but you have time. So make time. All right. So Aquarius. Aquarius. Oh, the cards yelling at me here. So we have the Six of Cups. So Aquarius, how can you fill someone else's cup right now? What can you do to help somebody else and lift them up and make them feel happy, whole? Maybe that's reaching out to somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, or going to do something special with somebody that you haven't or even, maybe if there's a special kid in your life, maybe it's time to take them out and show them a good time. So however that, looks for you, whichever one really, grabbed your attention as I was saying that, that's the one for you to do. And that brings us to Pisces. All right, Pisces. Pisces, we have the Fool. Yay, I love that. It kind of matches my background. It matches my hair. Love this Fool card. So Pisces, it's time. It's this is your time. It's time for a new adventure. It's time to kind of stretch your limits a little bit, really lean into your dreams and your hopes and new adventures and taking that chance. So Pisces, as hard as it is and you're worried about everybody else, it's time to do you, and it's time to go do something that is new and exciting for you. So that's what I got for our Pisces friends. So I hope everybody has a great week. And if you have any comments, questions, go ahead and put them down below. And like I said, I'm going to live stream this. So even though it's pre-recorded, I'm going to like live stream it on there, which is kind of a fun thing to do. I like doing that. I hope that everyone has a great week ahead. And like I said, if you have any questions about the deck, definitely message me. Join me for LlewelynCon. I will be on at 2 p.m. EST. That's a free event. You can go on llewellyn.com and register for that. So you don't want to miss that. And I will be talking to everyone really soon. Have a great week. Thanks, guys.